No one noticed Elijah Carter at first. That was the painful truth. Every morning, as the sun rose between the glass towers of Riverfront City, people hurried past the old stone benches of Harrison Green Park. Joggers adjusted their earbuds. Office workers clutched their coffee cups. Parents rushed children toward yellow school buses humming at the curb. And there, near a maple tree whose leaves whispered softly in the wind, sat Elijah Carter, quiet, tired, and invisible. Elijah was a single dad and a U.S. Army veteran. His service had taken him far from home years ago, but now home felt farther than any battlefield. After his wife passed away from illness, life collapsed in slow motion. Bills piled up. Work became unstable. Eventually, he and his 8-year-old daughter, Lily, moved into a small rented room near the edge of the city. Each morning before Lily's school bus arrived, Elijah walked her through Harrison Green Park. He carried her backpack even though his knees ached. He smiled even when his heart felt heavy. When the bus doors folded open with a familiar hiss, Lily hugged him tight. "Don't forget Daddy," she said softly one morning. "I won't," Elijah replied, pressing his forehead to hers. After Lily left, Elijah stayed in the park for a while. It was his thinking place. Birds fluttered near the fountain. City buses rolled by on Maple Avenue. Sometimes a helicopter passed overhead, heading toward the hospital downtown, its distant hum reminding him how fragile life was. That morning, Elijah noticed something different. An elderly man struggled near the park's walking trail. His grocery bag tore, spilling apples across the pavement. People walked around him. Some glanced. Most didn't stop. Elijah watched quietly as the man bent down, shaking, trying to gather what he could. Elijah didn't hesitate. Despite the ache in his back and the worry in his mind, he stood up. He crossed the path and knelt beside the man. "Let me help you, sir," Elijah said gently. The man looked up, eyes watery with embarrassment. "Thank you, I didn't think anyone would." Elijah gathered the apples carefully, brushing dirt from them. He handed the bag back and helped the man stand. "Name's Walter Simmons," the man said, gripping Elijah's arm for balance. "Elijah Carter," he replied with a warm nod. Walter explained he had just moved into the neighborhood after his wife passed away. He had no car. The walk back home felt longer every day. Elijah listened, really listened. He didn't check his phone, he didn't rush. For 10 minutes the world slowed down. Before leaving, Elijah did something that surprised even himself. He reached into his pocket and pulled out the few dollars he had saved for lunch. "Take this," he said quietly, "in case you need a ride or help later." Walter tried to refuse, but Elijah gently placed the money into his hand. "It's okay," Elijah said. "Someone once helped me when I needed it." They parted ways. Elijah returned to his bench, unaware that a young woman sitting nearby had seen everything. Her name was Rachel Moore, a freelance journalist waiting for a friend. She had watched dozens of people ignore Walter, but Elijah, this tired man with worn shoes, had stopped without a second thought. Rachel didn't know it yet, but she had just witnessed the beginning of something powerful. And Elijah? He simply sat back down, unaware that his quiet kindness was about to echo far beyond that park. Life didn't change immediately for Elijah Carter. That afternoon, he rode a crowded city bus back to his neighborhood, holding onto a metal pole as traffic crawled through downtown streets. Advertisements flashed outside the windows. Luxury cars passed by. Elijah stared at his reflection in the glass, older than his years, eyes heavy, but still kind. At home, Lily ran into his arms. "Daddy, I got a gold star today," she said proudly. Elijah smiled, though worry tugged at his chest. Rent was due soon. His part-time warehouse job had cut hours again. Nights were long, filled with calculations and silent prayers. The next morning, Elijah returned to Harrison Green Park as usual, but something felt different. People looked at him. A woman smiled as she passed, A jogger nodded. Elijah assumed it was coincidence until Rachel approached him. "Excuse me," she said softly, "are you Elijah?" "Yes," he replied cautiously. "My name is Rachel Moore. I'm a journalist. I saw what you did for Walter yesterday." Elijah shifted uncomfortably. "I just helped someone." "That's exactly why it matters," Rachel said. "Do you mind if I share your story?" Elijah hesitated. He didn't like attention, he didn't want pity, but he thought of Lily, he thought of Walter. "If it helps someone," he said, "then okay." Rachel wrote the story that night. She didn't exaggerate, she didn't dramatize. She simply told the truth about a single dad veteran struggling quietly who still chose kindness when no one was watching. She posted it online. By the next day, the story spread faster than anyone expected. Comments poured in. People shared it across social media. Local radio stations talked about it during morning traffic updates. Even as motorcycles roared and buses hissed at stops across the city, Elijah's name floated through conversations he'd never hear. Back in the park, something incredible happened. Walter returned, this time with a small smile and steadier steps. "You didn't have to help me," he said, "but because you did, I remembered I'm not alone." Others followed. A teacher offered free tutoring for Lily. A mechanic fixed Elijah's old car at no charge. A local cafe owner handed Elijah a warm meal every morning. Elijah felt overwhelmed. "I didn't do this for rewards," he told Rachel one afternoon. "I know," she replied. "That's why people care." One day, as Elijah waited near the school bus stop, a city council member approached him. Not for cameras, not for speeches, just a handshake. "We need more people like you," the man said. Elijah looked around at the park, the trees, the fountain, the bench where he once felt invisible. For the first time in years, he felt seen. But the greatest moment came one evening as the sun dipped low, painting the city in gold. Lily sat beside him on the bench. "Daddy," she said quietly, "my teacher says you're a hero." Elijah swallowed hard. "No, sweetheart," he said, wrapping his arm around her. "I'm just kind. And sometimes, kindness is stronger than anything else." Weeks passed, and Harrison Green Park became more than just a shortcut for busy lives. It became a place of connection. People stopped to talk. Neighbors learned each other's names. Musicians played soft guitar melodies near the fountain. Children laughed as pigeons fluttered into the air. Even the sound of helicopters overhead felt less distant, like part of a living, breathing city. Elijah Carter never asked to become a symbol, but his presence changed the rhythm of the park. He found stable work with a veterans support organization, not because of charity, but because someone believed in his character. Lily's smile grew brighter. Their rented room felt warmer, filled with hope instead of fear. One afternoon, Elijah noticed someone struggling near the bus stop, a young mother with a broken stroller. Without thinking, he stood up. Just like before. That was the real legacy. Not fame, not headlines, but a chain of kindness that refused to stop. People often think heroes are loud, that they arrive with sirens or speeches, but Elijah taught the city something different. Heroes are quiet. Heroes are tired. Heroes help anyway. And now, dear viewers, this is where you come in. If this story touched your heart even a little, pause for a moment. Think about the Elijah in your own life, the ones sitting quietly, the ones carrying invisible burdens, the ones everyone else walks past. Your kindness, no matter how small, can change someone's entire world. Please comment below and tell us. Have you ever experienced a random act of kindness that changed your life? Or have you been that quiet helper for someone else? Your story matters, your voice matters. If you found inspiration here, like this video, so more people can discover it. Share it with your friends and family, because kindness grows when it's shared. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel, Kindness Quest, where real stories remind us that humanity is still alive. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And most of all, thank you for choosing kindness. Because sometimes, one small act is all it takes to turn an ordinary person into a local legend.